The Battle of Buxar was a decisive battle fought between the British East India Company and a coalition of Indian rulers in 1764. The battle was fought near the town of Buxar in present-day Bihar, India, and resulted in a crushing defeat for the Indian coalition, marking a significant turning point in the history of India. Background: the British East India Company had established a strong presence in India by the mid-18th century. They had already gained control over the province of Bengal by defeating the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Daula, in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. The British victory at Plassey marked the beginning of British rule in India, and they began to consolidate their power in the region by establishing puppet rulers and expanding their territories. However, the Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, who had succeeded Siraj-ud-Daula, soon grew resentful of British control and began to plot against them. He formed a coalition with the Nawab of Awadh, Shuja-ud-Daula, and the Mughal Emperor, Shah Alam II, to drive the British out of India. The Indian coalition was supported by a large army consisting of over 40,000 soldiers, while the British had a force of around 7,000 soldiers, led by Major Hector Munro. The Indian coalition had a significant numerical advantage, but they were poorly coordinated and lacked unity, while the British had superior discipline and training. The battle. The battle began on the 22nd of October 1764, with the Indian coalition launching a fierce attack on the British lines. The Indian forces consisted of infantry, cavalry, and artillery, but their coordination was poor, and they lacked a unified strategy. The British, on the other hand, had a well-trained army and superior artillery, which gave them a significant advantage. The battle raged on for several hours, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Indian coalition was unable to break through the British lines, and their attacks were repelled with heavy fire from the British artillery. The British, in turn, launched a counterattack, and their cavalry charged into the Indian ranks, causing chaos and confusion. The Indian coalition began to retreat, but the British pursued them relentlessly, inflicting heavy casualties. The Indian forces suffered around 6,000 casualties, while the British lost only around 800 soldiers. Impact. The Battle of Buxar had significant consequences for the Indian subcontinent. The defeat of the Indian coalition marked the end of the Mughal Empire, which had been in decline for several decades. The British East India Company gained control over the rich province of Bengal and extended their territories in India. The victory at Buxar also established British military superiority over the Indian forces, which gave them the confidence to pursue further expansionism. The battle paved the way for British colonialism in India, which lasted for almost 2 centuries. The defeat at Buxar had a significant impact on the Indian rulers as well. The Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, was deposed, and his territories were annexed by the British. The Nawab of Awadh, Shuja-ud-Daula, was forced to sign a treaty with the British, which gave them control over his territories. The Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II was also captured by the British and was forced to sign the Treaty of Allahabad in 1765, which gave the British control over the provinces of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. The treaty marked the beginning of British political dominance in India. The Battle of Buxar also had significant cultural and social consequences. The defeat of the Indian coalition led to a sense of disillusionment and loss of confidence in the traditional ruling elites. Thanks for watching. If you like more content, please subscribe to this channel.